And just before the House was scheduled to vote on that funding bill, New York Congressman Jamaal Bowman pulled a fire alarm inside the Cannon House office building. This photo has just been released by U.S. Capitol Police.
Now there's this focus on Democrat Socialist Representative Jamaal Bowman. I'm accidentally going to call him Brown for some reason during this, but forgive me.
Well, he is Brown.
Well, the point. Technically. But I'm just saying, I don't know why in my head it comes out Jamaal Brown, but Jamaal Bowman. So here's why. He pulled a fire alarm while the Democrats were trying to delay the vote on the spending bill so they could blame it on Republicans. So this is, there are a lot of tactics that they use out there on Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
This is not chief amongst them, but every now and then, you have to commit a gross safety violation.
And just before the House was scheduled to vote on that funding bill, New York Congressman Jamaal Bowman pulled a fire alarm inside the Cannon House office building. This photo has just been released by U.S. Capitol Police. Congressman Bowman told reporters he was trying to get through a door and thought the alarm would open that door. His spokesperson says it was an accident and that the congressman regrets any confusion. Some Republicans in the House want Bowman censured for his actions. Capitol Police say they are investigating.
Oh, they're investigating. Really? It seems pretty cut and dry. We actually have the exclusive footage of the internal investigation.
Now, can you zoom in right there?
What do you think this is? Monday Night Football? Best I can do is 50%.
What do you think? Rolex?
It's a tag.
Height, say about 5'10".
Yeah, I'd say so.
And he's black.
By the way, Exit Wounds was written by a 4-year-old, just to be clear.
Makes sense.
I just love it. Yeah, he was trying to open the door, so he pulled this alarm, and it was confusing. Of course, that obviously that dog won't hunt. It's really undeniable at this point. We've done it in the past, but we need to revisit this because so much has happened. This is time for this week's installment of Jamaal Bowman. What a piece of shit. Now, he did defend himself. I don't know if you guys saw. He said, I want to be very clear. This was not me in any way trying to delay the vote. Now, here's the thing. That right away seems like protesting too much. But then he goes on to say, it was the exact opposite. Hold on a second. So it was the opposite? So you were trying to really, really vote?
He thought that was the lever?
Yeah. I was trying urgently to get to a vote, which I ultimately did. All right. Come on now.
Wow.
Now, to be in his defense, there were early reports that he did indeed smell smoke. I think that there was a reason that they did it. Tool man. All right, never mind.
Oh, jeez. Tim.
Oh, makes sense.
Fired. Admonish yourself.
Admonish yourself, Tim. Come on. That one was timing reliant.
It was.
And he was slow to admonish himself.
All three of them.
Bury everything.
It's very white. It's all type 1 fibers. I don't know why. This does not mean any way trying to delay the vote. It was the exact opposite of that.
I was trying really, really hard.
Sir, are you stealing from this Walgreens? No, I wasn't. I'm not stealing from this Walgreens. It looks like you have $994 of merchandise you're carrying out the door that you didn't pay for. Oh, this? No, this is it's the opposite of stealing. I was going to take it out so that I could pay for it out there, come back here and buy it again. Why? How do you buy your pharmaceuticals? Sir, that makes no sense. Are you a racist? All right, just steal the shit.
It's the dumbest argument I've ever heard. I pulled a fire alarm because I didn't know how to work a door. It has a sign on it that explains how to work the door.
By the way, I did this once. I was supposed to show up to this.
Well, you did it on purpose.
It was a holiday exhibit where I was taking my little ones.
This
and when
may be
I showed
a crime.
up,
Be
it was
careful.
at the wrong.
Hypothetically,
it was at the wrong location, and instead I showed up to like some blog con thing, and it was some guy walking around in latex and like anime. And at this point, I could see my children like looking like this is weird, and I just said, I just got to get out of here. Alert! Alert! So I could open the door and get out. Just took the fire exit. So Bowman's fellow socialist, and I say this because self-described, his fellow socialist representative, AOC, who, by the way, does look like she has an eye trainer, so she's looking good here.
Better.
Defended Bowman on CNN.
He says it was an accident. He thought pulling the alarm would open a door. based on the fact that the doors to his right there were locked, and there was a sign that he said he was. I think someone said it was confusing. I'll be honest, it doesn't really make sense to me. His explanation. Have you talked to him? What's going on?
I mean, listen. I think if you actually do see some of the photos of the signs, I think there's something to be said about. The government's about to shut down.
There's nothing to be
There's a vote
said.
clock that's going down.
If you have a really
the
low
exits that are
IQ.
normally open in that building were suddenly closed.
So you pulled a fire alarm?
So
Jake Tapper, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't buy it.
To be fair, again, in his defense, here is the sign that AOC was talking about. That could be confusing.
Okay, yeah, that's understandable.
It makes sense now.
Before we get fact checked, here's the actual picture of the sign, which, by the way, is just as absurd. It's very clear.
Emergency exit only.
Emergency, it says fire.
Pull that back up.
Yeah.
You know what that thing on the right doesn't say? Pull to open the door.
No. It does not
There's
say pull
signs on the door, but this is they've got a tunnel underneath the ground. I talked to Sam. They can actually go outdoors that are down to the left. There's plenty of open doors. He knew exactly where he was going and what he was doing, and he's an idiot.
To be fair, the doors are usually open, and they were all slammed shut at once by a poltergeist. Perhaps there were Dementors in the building, and so he was very confused. And you know what? It could have just as easily been any of us. It wouldn't have been any of us. It could have been you. It wouldn't have been me. I would have known how to use it. You know what? Who's to say? I'm to say. This is horseshit.
Did the firemen show up?
Of course not. Maybe they did.
I have no idea. The point is, now here's the thing. Not everyone is convinced, including President Trump, who wrote this. On Truth Social was fantastic. He goes, will Congressman Jamaal Bowman be prosecuted and imprisoned for very dangerously pulling and setting off the main fire alarm system in order to stop a congressional vote that was going on in D.C.? His egregious act is covered on tape, a horrible display of nerve and criminality. It was and I love how he puts this like it's a title of a film.
Right.
In quotes, he goes, it was a very dangerous obstruction of an official proceeding. Also my favorite Seagal film.
That was the words I was looking for earlier.
The same is used against our J6 prisoners. Actually, his act may have been worse. Some might say, I would never say that. People tell me it may have been worse. They say, I say, really? They say, yeah. He must suffer, all caps, he must suffer their same fate. When will his trial begin? Now, here's the thing. This is a horrible human being, Bowman, okay? His shenanigans go way beyond pulling of fire alarms because once in a blue moon. Now, last March, this is the guy, in case you've forgotten him, I don't want to say got into a confrontation. He verbally assaulted Representative Thomas Massey over school shootings, of course, with all of his facts wrong. But again, this was the fake tough guy act. This is the guy a lot of people didn't know it's the same person.
Freaking cowards. They're gutless. They're not here. I'm talking about gun violence.
You know, there's never been.
I'm talking about gun violence.
In a school that allows teachers to carry.
Carry guns? You think more guns lead to more death? More guns lead to more death.
Well, then get him out of the Capitol building, for God's sake.
You're carrying the water for the gun lobby.
She just walks in between them.
All right, that's enough.
Cut.
Now, to be fair, again, in his defense, he confronted Massey in Barney Frank Hall, and this was the sign there that day. So, yeah, it's just... He's, if nothing else, he respects the signs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he respects the sign.
You know that guy's elected, his district is the poorest in the country.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, that's how he got there. He's bunch of idiots live there.
Well, just because you're poor doesn't mean you're stupid.
Here's what I do.
Oh, yes, it does. In America, it does.
So before being elected in New York, he founded the Cornerstone Academy for Social Action in 2009. Okay. Now, this is an academy. So it sounds
very studious.
Yeah, academy.
Majority of the school students can't read or do math.
Perfect.
Sense. So as far as his academy that he founded, right, and this is the thing, this is a stepping stone. Oh, look, I did some community organizing. I contributed to the community. I created the Cornerstone Academy for Social Action. Okay, 24% of people at the academy that he founded were capable of executing math at their grade level. 35% of the students were capable of reading at a grade level. I know what you're thinking. Well, did they bring those numbers up from 20? You know what? At this point, it doesn't matter. It's a third and a quarter of your students can do basic math and reading. If nothing else, can we say, hey, it hasn't worked? hey, you screwed those kids academically. You left them behind. Now, he's also introduced bills to, in case you haven't, in case you don't have this in your memory bank, all references are available at ladowscrowder.com. Tax money that you haven't even earned yet. Tax, quote unquote, excess profits, which is never really fully clearly defined. And then he wanted to designate August 2023 as official hip hop recognition month.
I'm okay with that one. I really don't have too much of a problem with it.
Well, what y'all expect? His name is Jamaal. It's got 3 A's in it.
That's Jamaal.
J-Mal.
That's it. J-Mal. This is Kane.
This is also a guy, to go to your point, he's advocated defunding the police, worked like a charm. He wants to bring the Green New Deal to public schools. I don't even know what that means.
It's a $1.6 trillion initiative. That's what it means.
But to bring it to public schools? Yeah. What does that mean? You're going to put solar panels on there for the air
or grass on the roof? I don't know.
Green New
More
Deal
drag
for
queens.
schools? Hey, yes.
More weed for the students.
I love how he's sitting there saying, hey, only 34% of people from your academy and are capable of math, and 24% are capable of math, only 34% are capable of reading. And it's like, yeah, we need wind turbines.
That's right.
That'll we like focus on literacy and greenery.
Nope.
Urban farming.
That is crazy. 34% of students can read?
Yeah, 34% can read at their grade level. So he advocates also, by the way, he's a huge advocate of, this is just really annoying, I guess. But again, this is a what a piece of shit segment. Green transportation. Here's a clip.
Peace, y'all. We're leaving for August recess. Take it easy. One love.
Hey, that's my bike. That's my bike. He stole it.
Dude's crossing the street, not even look where he's going. Freaking idiot. He didn't even look. It's like, hey, peace, one love. Hey, he didn't look where he's going.
Final destination.
His not most egregious, but dumbest, he wanted to have the New York Jets bring Colin Kaepernick back in.
Bringing Colin Kaepernick.
Man.
Save the season. Peace.
Yeah, because that's what he's known for, is saving the season.
He's been out of the league for, 4 or 5 years, and he sucked when he was in it last. So, yeah, he's going to help.
This is a guy, everything is fake. Everything about him is fake. Bring back Kaepernick. Save the season. No one's ever said, oh, my God, we're behind. We need to save this franchise. There's only one call to make. Bring in the cap. Who? The cap. Who are you talking? Colin Kaepernick. Bring in Colin Kaepernick. You mean that mediocre? Who? Yeah. Well, you know what? He'll kneel and it'll be a whole thing. I have a whole thing. It'll be nice. Bring in Kaepernick. Green look at me on my bike. Hey, green schools. When the things that matter, like the students being able to read or execute math, it doesn't take priority. Hey, actually voting. No, it's I want to grandstand and say, look at Republicans shutting down the government while he pulls the fire exit and storms out the back. And also, that was redundant. And also, he's a stupid person. What did you think? You thought there wasn't going to be a camera of you pulling the fire alarm?
It's right there every day.
It's always
worse. I'll be okay because I'll just say it was an accident. I was trying to get out of the doors.
Yeah. And then his excuse is, I'll say that the sign was confusing, which is also on camera, sir.
You have the same reading proficiency as your school.
What a piece of shit. The guy I watched this, I'm like, wait, hold on a second. Because this is all grandstanding, right? The government, it's really going to affect federal workers. And I'm sorry, we could trim that back anyways. It's a little bit bloated. Right? Maybe some parks will be shut down. This idea that your life is going to come to an end if the government doesn't increase its spending by another whatever $1 trillion. I'm sorry, I don't buy into it. This is the definition of political theater. But for a guy like this to try and grandstand, look, Republicans are shutting down the government. All right, the vote's going to be in. Can't hear you. Everything is fake. It's a show. And this is how you want to end up with populism. You want to end up with angry, violent people, a population that all of a sudden decides, all right, you know what? We're just gonna have a coup. I'm not advocating it. You want to know? This is how you do it. This is how you do it. When you have people who've accomplished nothing, who've actually hurt their local communities, and simply want to raise some money being a talking head on a cable news network that nobody watches anymore, and so they commit, at the very least, gross safety violations, most likely serious crimes or minor felonies, and that's why we just needed to revisit this, like if you agree that Bowman is a giant piece of shit. It's time for Whoopi Jones.
Brian, raise your hand.
Yeah, we know you did, Brian.
I guess my point is, if you're not sure, then put it up find out what it was, as opposed to just saying, you did this to do that. Because when people pull stunts, I tend to think that they may be more full of it than he is. People who pull this kind of stunt who say, and you only have 3 minutes to read it. I kind of think, oh, all right, well, maybe. Because I know I would have pressed everything if you told me I had to get in there. I would have pressed whatever I had to press to get the door to open. Because I knew you would expect me not to be there to vote. So you don't know.
What the
We'll
hell?
be right back.
What?
Their theory is that they
locked
did this
him in
on purpose. They locked one door in a giant building to keep him. It's the one door he'll go to.
Child, I don't know. You don't know. Hirschman certainly don't know. What I'm saying is they could have shut the doors. They could have barricaded it. They could have had a bunch of mufflers with tubes going in to the Congress halls. Everybody's suffocating.
Yeah.
Got to hit the fire. I'd hit all the buttons, crack all my joints.
I think this building probably has 30 exits and entrances, I'm imagining. Maybe less than that. I don't know. You know who would know this, actually, is HR Sam. He knows that building very well. So if I'm wrong, it's got a lot of exits. It's also got other places he could have gone to. You know what he said? All of the members, HR Sam used to work on Capitol Hill. All of the members know these big public entrances and exits. They also know kind of the more private tunnels that they can use to go across the street. Yeah. He chose to go to this particular exit, and there was several he could get to. It's like, and by the way, how are you so out of touch with what's happening in your job? Your job is to vote on stuff.
Well, here's the thing. The grace that she gives to him, she has to develop a conspiracy theory that even his own people don't really
They're
believe.
like, we didn't even think of that.
But she'll jump immediately on Trump's guilty.
Oh, yeah.
He'll jump immediately on Matt Gaetz is whatever, a pedophile. She'll jump immediately on Ted Cruz's dad killed JFK. Whatever it is. My point is, she will jump on anything. This is the problem with just doing it for political expediency. Yeah, okay, look, innocent until proven guilty. But he pulled the fire alarm on camera and then lied about it, saying the sign was confusing. That is irrefutable. Makes me think that he obviously pulled this stunt. I love how she says, other people who pull these stunts, right? You only got 3 minutes? No. The person pulling the stunt is the prick pulling the fire alarm.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.